Hello everyone, and welcome to After Alexander. Episode 67, Macedon vs. Egypt. Last time, we mentioned that the Seleucids may have delegated any fighting with Egypt to Macedon. We last covered Macedon when Antigonus II finally died in 239 BCE. Today, let's catch up with what was going on in the original homeland and how that relates to Egypt. As we discussed in episode 56, Antigonus II died in 239 BCE and left his throne to his son Demetrius II. We met his wife, albeit not the mother of his heir, in episode 62, in the form of Stratonike, daughter of Antiochus I. Demetrius II had a son called Philip, which is a refreshing break from the names Antigonus and Demetrius. Philip was born in 238 BCE, so the year after his grandfather Antigonus died. However, all too soon it would be his father's turn in 229 BCE. His son then became Philip V of Macedon. This is a name which we last saw attain kingly status under Philip IV, the son of Cassander. Before that, it was under the Argeads themselves. You might have noticed how little time there is for Demetrius II to rule, and you would be right. This also has consequences for little Philip V. Philip is listed in Rawlinson's 1871 Manual of Ancient History as being just 8 years old when he became the new king of Macedon. His Wikipedia notes him as being 9, but the specific age is just splitting hairs compared to the general message that he is far from being of age. As such, a regency was needed. At this point, enter Antigonus Doson. Who is Doson? Well, he was the grandson of Demetrius I. Remember him from back in the days of Seleucus I? Anyway, Doson's father was Demetrius the Fair. We last met Demetrius the Younger as the unsuccessful king of Cyrenaica who died in the arms of Apama. As we said, Macedon was deemed too unstable for a child to be king in his own right. I have to say, I'm siding with the nobility on this one. The upshot is, Antigonus Doson became the regent. He also married the widow of Demetrius II. She was the mother of Philip V, making him the young king's new stepfather. Once Antigonus showed himself to be a capable ruler, he was also made king by the nobility. So, in the same year of 229 BCE, he became Antigonus III of Macedon. Despite this, he apparently only ever saw his role as being to look after his stepson Philip, basically keeping the throne warm for him. Antigonus III got involved in a fight against Cleomenes III of Sparta, who was an ally of Egypt as we've discussed before. We won't go into the details of this conflict, as this is too much of a divergence from our main Seleucid story. However, I presume this is the conflict that Edwin Bevan thinks the Seleucids might have had a hand in steering. During the course of the fighting, Antigonus threw himself at the Carian coastline and kicked out the soldiers of Egypt which were protecting it. Antigonus III would rule until his death in 221 BCE. When he died, Philip V would have been about 16. The young man would rule from 221 until 179 BCE. It's quite impressive that he managed to survive the kingship of his stepfather. Perhaps this lends credence to the idea that Antigonus III did not want to usurp Philip or start a new branch of the Macedonian dynasty. After all, Philip managed to live. With that bit of Macedonian context out of the way, we are free to recap the little time we spent with Seleucus III and give him his modern epithet. Until then, thank you all for listening. If you have any questions or comments, you can get in touch at the show's email address. Until next time, have a great week, everyone.